What's going on, guys? Play-by-play gaming here, back with another Epic 7 video, and today we're taking a look at how to use Skystones for new and returning players. Now, this I would say is not necessarily a priority guide, but maybe just giving you a little bit of insight as to how you might use your Skystones in Epic 7, especially when you're first starting the game. Okay, so let's start off with hero equipment artifact inventory space. So in your bag you have the ability to make more space for all of the gear that you have. So if you click on your gear icon there, you actually have the ability to add or increase the amount of space that you have. You can do the same thing for your artifacts. So let's say, for example, I wanted to add another 100 slots for artifacts in my bag. I can definitely do that for 1200 Skystones. Now, this is something that you might not necessarily need to do when you're first starting the game, especially since you're pretty much just progressing through the game. So you might not have a lot of artifacts or gear, but eventually you will need maybe more space if you want to keep more inventory. But I highly recommend that you try to hold out as long as you can so you don't have to waste your Skystones. Now, as you can see here, I actually have the ability to add 100 more slots, or what is it, 95 more slots, but I don't need to. I've been playing for about 2 years and I still haven't maxed out my artifact inventory. If you're summoning a bunch, if you are using your Covenant bookmarks, all of that goes into your storage, but I can show you a way that you can mitigate some of that space. So when you run out of space, as you can see here, I'm capped at 300 slots. When you do run out of hero inventory space, or if you run out of equipment space for your artifacts here, as you can see, I'm at 106 out of 100. Any excess units or artifacts that you summon are actually going to go straight into your storage. So your storage is actually a great way to get more space without having to buy that space with Skystone. So we'll go in here to my hero storage. So if you're doing a big summon session, I highly recommend that you max out your inventory first, and you can just hold on to fodder. So then you go and you do your full summons, and all of those extra units that you pull or extra artifacts are going to come in here. And that's just one way that you can kind of take advantage of your storage to just hold certain units, heroes, artifacts until you need them. After you need them, you can just check them out and then you'll be good to go. All right, here we go. Next up is going to be using Skystones for your team slots. Now, this is something that you can get away with not doing until you get to mid, even late game. I feel that you don't necessarily need all of these team slots. It's just another way for you to kind of hold on to your Skystones until you really need it. Again, this is something you can get away with for the longest time. I think that you could definitely just go with maybe 3-4 teams at max. You need a farm team, a team for arena, and then maybe 1 or 2 teams for hunts. And that's pretty much it. Everything else here is just quality of life. You don't necessarily need all these teams, but they're there. If I wanted to buy another one, it's going to cost me 60 Skystones, or that's 60 Skystones that I could save for something else. So just kind of keep that in mind. Next up on the list, we're going to talk about using your Skystones to buy bookmarks directly. Now, this is something that some players do actually like to do because they like the efficiency of just going in to the shop. If they have a certain amount of Skystones ready, they can just go and straight up buy whatever Covenant bookmarks they need. Just keep in mind that it is going to cost you 950 Skystones per set of 50. So every 10 pull that you do for your Covenant bookmarks is going to cost 950 Skystones. I put this kind of like in the middle. I'm not saying that you shouldn't use Skystones to buy straight up Covenant bookmarks, but I would say hold off on using your Skystones to buy them directly here, because if you are wanting a specific unit, more than likely you have time to go into the secret shop and refresh, which I think is a better use of your Skystones instead of buying directly, but only if you have a good amount of gold. So I would say if you've been farming a lot of hunts and you do have a good amount of gold, then you can go secret shop refresh. Otherwise, it might benefit you a little bit more to go Skystones, and it's faster to go the Skystone for bookmark way, but just kind of keep that in mind. All right, next up, we're talking about using Skystones for stamina refresh. And so this is actually one of the ways that I've been using my Skystones as of recent. I do have 104,000 Skystones, so just kind of keep in mind, I didn't necessarily farm as much as many players do. It's something that I started doing recently, but you can spend 30 Skystones for 60 energy, and I think that this is probably the second best way to use your Skystones in Epic 7 if you want to progress through the game, if you want to farm hunts, if you want to get better gear and equipment and have a chance at progressing faster, and if you want to make your way into RTA, PvP, regular arena, this is something that more than likely you're going to have to do, but I would recommend most bang for your buck is going to be to use Skystones when you have the hunt or buff event, which usually comes like once or twice a month. And that's going to be your best bet. The game gives you a bunch of energy for free. So if you feel that you really want to make a harder push, spending Skystones on energy is going to be one of the best things that you can do. All right, the next way of using your Skystones in Epic 7, I would say, is going to be my number one, my personal number one. For some people, they only use Skystones to refresh stamina, to make more progress in the game. But again, this is going to depend on you and what you want for your account and how you want to play the game. I personally like to use Skystones to refresh the secret shop. It costs 3 Skystones, but you do have a chance at getting or buying Covenant bookmarks directly from the shop. Just keep in mind that buying these bookmarks from the shop is going to cost gold, which if you are brand new to the game, this might not be something very viable for you when you're first starting off. However, if you've been doing a lot of farming, you're progressing a lot through the story, you have a bunch of gold, and you don't mind spending gold and some time refreshing the shop, it's something that you can definitely do for your account. Now, I refresh the shop because I like to collect heroes, and if I'm collecting heroes, then maybe I'm losing a little bit of progress in the game. So the more gold that I spend on buying Covenant bookmarks and Mystic Metals, which also have a chance to drop from your secret shop, is going to maybe hurt me a little bit. But again, it's just how I want to play the game. Sometimes I'll use Skystones for energy, sometimes I'll use Skystones for Covenant bookmarks. It really depends. Right now, I've been refreshing the shop a lot for Covenant bookmarks. I currently have 2.8k bookmarks just because I'm saving up for the collab. And I did make a video on secret shop refreshing it. The drop for Covenant bookmarks and Mystic Metals is the same regardless of the shop level. The only thing that it's actually affects is the gear level, which shouldn't be a priority here. But if you are using Skystones, keep in mind it is going to take time, Skystones and gold and a bit of RNG for you to be able to buy your Covenant bookmarks. But on average, all of the math points to it costing less per Skystone to get Covenant bookmarks from the secret shop than it is to buy it directly from the regular shop. So again, it's something to keep in mind. Last but not least is the Epic Pass. So if you do have some Skystones, I would put this at the very top of the list because this is going to benefit everyone that is able to pick up at least the 900 Epic Pass value. So the Epic Pass actually gives you quite a bit of rewards. It gives you leafs, it gives you Covenant bookmarks, it gives you gold transmit stones, which you can use for ML summons, and a bunch of other charms and goodies. So I highly recommend, I would say it's going to be your number one priority buying the Epic Pass if you do have some Skystones. But again, this is my opinion. If your priority is to pick up a specific unit and you only have 900 Skystones, then maybe you shouldn't be picking up the Epic Pass until you get your favorite unit. But again, this gives you so many resources that you can use to help progress yourself through the game just a bit faster, that it's definitely worth it. I don't think that spending the extra 900 for the skin, especially if you are low on Skystones, is going to be worth it. But if you have that hero and you have some extra Skystones that you want to spend on that particular unit, hey, feel free to do that. But I think buying just the 900 should be good to go, especially since you don't get the unit, only the skin for that unit if you do buy the special portion of the Epic Pass. All right, that's going to be it for using your Skystones the right way in Epic 7. Let me know your thoughts. Again, a lot of people have different ways or different priorities when it comes to using their Skystones, but I would say the top two are going to be either buying Covenant bookmarks or using them as energy. Everything else you can kind of reorder however you like, but in the end, stick to how you want to play the game and what's best for your account. Like always, if you have any questions, feel free to put them into the comment section below. If there's anything else that you might want to see a video on, let me know in the comment section below. Like always, if you happen to enjoy the video, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hey, think about subscribing. It really helps the channel grow and reach more people like you who like content like this. Like always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.